5 hand lettering tips that will actually blow your mind. Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Will Paterson. If you don't know who I am, I'm a hand lettering artist, logo designer, and I own a design agency in the north of England. I do a lot of logo design commissions, hand lettering commissions, and brand strategy, visual identity, rebranding. But hand lettering has been a huge passion of mine. I use it to do chalk walls, I do it on my iPad, I use it for Instagram. It's just a huge medium for me to go and put out whatever I like to online. And I've been working on hand lettering for a long time, so I'm going to give you some 5 tips today that will help you with your hand lettering get to that next level so you'll feel even more confident and better than you did before, and your work will look better too. And just before we get into the video, if you're someone who wants to be generous and make people happy and also learn more about creativity, design, hand lettering, then press that red subscribe button down below and turn on post notifications so you never miss a video like this. It honestly makes me feel so happy to know that I'm helping you guys with videos like this. This video is brought to you by Skillshare. Okay, so the first tip is one that you may not have expected, but do not zoom in often. Now, when you're sketching in paper, you're able to basically just see the whole landscape of your lettering. You can see whatever you're drawing, you're not able to zoom in. But when you're in Photoshop or in Procreate and you zoom in, you may lose some of the quality of your work because you're not looking around at the whole composition of your work. If you're going, zooming right in, then your work's going to look slightly strange because you're not actually seeing the whole composition. You may have some lines that don't match, and maybe you've misbalanced a letter, or the letter doesn't look like it should. Well, the reason for this is basically the eye. When we look at things, we're looking at symmetry, and the eye in the subconscious tells you to do things that you do not know that you're doing. You're not being aware of it. So being aware by zooming out and not zooming in too often will help you. Now, a little bonus tip for this is that if you have a monitor and you plug it in with your iPad Pro or your iPad and you have a little dongle, your monitor will actually display the artwork that you're drawing, and it'll show you your whole canvas. So when you zoom in on Procreate to get in that little gritty bit, it will still display the whole artwork, so you can just lift your head up to the monitor and see what you're drawing. There you'll have a full overview of your drawing, seeing if you've missed anything or if it looks a bit strange. That's one of the coolest things about Procreate. Tip number 2 is to use Symmetry for great composition. Now, you've heard about me talk about this a lot to do with symmetry and having balance. Now, the easiest way to get a good balance and knowing that you will is basically having symmetry. This means that the left to the right, the up and the down is all symmetrical, and this means that the eye looks at it differently. People, humans, everyone loves symmetry because it's easy on the eye and it just fits into place. It just magically fits. Of course, you don't have to have it symmetrical all the time. Symmetry just helps create the idea of balance. It makes it balanced. But if you're sort of a seasoned hand lettering artist and you know that you can use design elements such as flourishing, leaves, stars, water droplets to create balance throughout the whole artwork and composition, then you're onto a winner. A good way to test for balance in Procreate and in Photoshop and other applications is to use the Gaussian blur. Gaussian blur in Procreate, you just duplicate the whole art piece, so all the layers at once, and then basically use the Gaussian blur. When you do that, it should all fit together in a nice composition frame, and if it looks slightly strange or slightly out of place, you know you may have gone a bit too big on one side or a bit too small on the other, or it doesn't look right in the middle. This is a great way of testing your artwork. Tip number 3 is to duplicate layers for 3D effect. This is one of the greatest things about Procreate. Not only that you can just delete a layer and your artwork is still saved, but that you can delete them and use them as frames for 3D lettering. All you need to do is duplicate the layer, bring it to the bottom of the first layer, drag it to the bottom right, so just a slight to the bottom right, make a new layer in between that, and go ahead and use your pen, pencil, whatever brush you're using to go and drag the layers in. So make sure you connect up all the layers. Tip number 4 is to use the same brush that you draw with to erase with. Now, if you're someone who wants to create hand lettering or illustrations that look human, look a bit rustic, they're not so clean around the edges, then this is great for you. When you use the same brush for the eraser as you do for the thing that you've drawn it with, it keeps the texture of that brush and the drawing the same all the way around. The biggest thing for a lot of hand letterers that I see that are starting out when they're doing doing hand lettering is that they'll use the pencil and they'll have the pencil brush inside of Procreate and they'll start drawing, and they'll use something else like the acrylic wet paint brush or the airbrush to erase it. And what this means is that you get weird lines at the edges. You want them to be consistent. A little bonus tip for that: consistency is always key. The main thing about hand lettering is having consistent letters. Even if they don't fit the typographic rules, they should be consistent all the way around, including your edges. The last tip, number 5, is to use a brush pen. Now, calligraphy and hand lettering are different. So basically, calligraphy is the art of using a brush to create the letter form itself, or a pen nib that has different weights. Hand lettering is basically the drafting version of that, is where you actually draw out the letters by hand with a pencil to give the illusion of calligraphy. But the great thing about the iPad is that you don't need to have any tracing paper. So what I do is I use my brush pens that you can download on my website. I've got an actual download page over there where you can get all my brush pens for a really good price. I use those brush pens to create my base lettering, and this is how I want the lettering to flow, and it's a very quick way of just getting an idea down. What I then do is I turn down the opacity of that layer and add a new layer over the top of it, and basically refine it with a pencil or some sort of brush inside of Procreate. And then I repeat and repeat the process until the lettering is exactly the way that I want it. Now, if you're someone who's just starting in hand lettering or calligraphy and you don't want to break the bank whilst learning it, well, today the sponsor of this video is giving you 2 months free to basically learn everything you need to know about hand lettering and calligraphy. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of different classes ranging from hand lettering, graphic design, cooking, photography, client management. I can't list them all, there's so many. But not only that, the classes are actually taught by industry professionals, so people from the industry that you're working in. Now, someone you may know is a guy called Ian Barnard. Now, he's an amazing guy. He is unreal at hand lettering, and I have the joy to know him myself. Ian Barnard's got a class that I'm going to link down below, and it's to level up your script calligraphy and script lettering. I've taken this class, and all of his points that are in there of what he talks about is really relevant and really does help me, so I know it will help you as well. Now, if you click that link down below, Skillshare are giving you 2 months completely free of Skillshare Premium. That means that you can watch as many classes and take part in all the classes as you want to. But not only that, when you take part in a class, you can upload your project to the class, and then the person who created the class, such as Ian, may respond to you with a bit of critique and help on a personal level. Now, although you got Skillshare Premium for 2 months completely free, it is actually less than $10 a month every month to get as many classes as you need on Skillshare. There's only 500 spots available with the link down below. So go and click that link down below and get 2 months free, and then let me know over Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, or the YouTube comments what you think. Thanks for watching this video, guys. If you liked it, press the like button. If you didn't like it, press the dislike button twice, and I'll catch you in the next video. See you soon. Goodbye. Hello?
Good afternoon. What's up?
Nothing. Switch. No. You shouldn't be shouting out.
I don't have an answer for that. Is there something else I can help with?
No. Shut you up, didn't I?